imagine yourself living in a time before civilization existed? There were no cities, no schools, no books, no laws, and no organized governance. People spent their days searching for food, finding shelter, and surviving the dangers of nature. Life was simple but challenging, and every day was a struggle to survive. Yet thousands of years ago, everything began to change in a special place that would become known as the birthplace of civilization. It was here that people learned to work together, settle in one place, and build the foundation of the modern world.
That place was Mesopotamia. The word Mesopotamia comes from the Greek words meso, which means middle, and potamus means river, which together mean the land between the rivers, located between the Tigris River and Euphrates River. Mesopotamia had rich fertile soil that was perfect for farming. The rivers provided water for crops, allowing people to produce more food than ever before. As farming improved, communities grew larger and more permanent. Villages became towns, and towns eventually became cities. Because of some earliest civilizations developed in this region, Mesopotamia became known as the cradle civilization, the place where organized human society first began. Among the civilizations that emerged in Mesopotamia, the Sumerians were the first and most influential. Around 4000 BC, they settled in southern Mesopotamia and transformed the fertile river valley into thriving city-states such as Ur and Uruk. To control flooding and improve farming, they built canals, dams, and dikes. They worshipped many gods and constructed massive temples called ziggurats, which serve as religious, political, and educational centers. The Sumerians also invented cuneiform, the world's first writing system, making it possible to record laws, trade, and stories. They developed important inventions such as the wheel, the plow, and the number system used for measuring time and distance. Their famous literary work, the Epic of Gilgamesh, is considered one of the oldest stories ever written. Although Sumer lost its independence when Sargon of Akkad conquered it around 2334 BC, the achievements of the Sumerians continued to influence future civilizations. Today, they are remembered as the pioneers who laid the foundation of human civilization. The Akkadian civilization began around 2334 BCE in Mesopotamia, located between the Tigris and Euphrates rivers. Present-day was Iraq. It became one of the first great empires in history when Sargon of Akkad united the Sumerian city-states and created a powerful centralized government. The Akkadians were ruled by kings, and their society included farmers, traders, soldiers, priests, and craftsmen. They developed a strong economy through agriculture and trade with other regions. Their beliefs were based on Mesopotamian religion, where they worshipped many gods and believed kings were chosen by divine powers. The Akkadians made important contributions that influenced future civilizations. They helped spread the Akkadian language and used cuneiform writing to record laws, trade, and history. They improved military organization, administration, and trade connections across Mesopotamia. Their achievements in art, architecture, and culture show their creativity and advanced society. However, the empire declined because of the internal conflicts, weak rulers, and possible environmental problems that affected agriculture. Even after its fall, the Akkadian civilization left a lasting legacy by inspiring later Mesopotamian empires and showing how a united government could create a powerful civilization. Babylonia became the next great empire in Mesopotamia around 1800 BC, when the Amorites settled in the fertile river valleys and established city-states. Their capital was Babylon, the center of worship for Marduk, also called Baal or Babel. The empire reached its peak under King Hammurabi in 1792 to 1750 BC, who expanded Babylonian territory from Syria to the Mediterranean Sea and led what became known as the Golden Age of Babylon. His most important achievement was the Code of Hammurabi, a collection of 285 laws covering family, property, labor, trade, and crime, based on the principle of eye for an eye, a life for a life. The code also granted women notable rights, including owning and inheriting property, working, running businesses, and divorcing cruel or unfaithful husbands while keeping their property. Babylonian society was divided into three social classes, from priests to nobles, free citizens, and enslaved people. Although women initially had some influence and could participate in councils, society later became more male-dominated. Their religion was polytheistic, with as many as 65,000 gods and goddesses, and included beliefs in magic, astrology, omens, and rituals. Some practices included child sacrifice. Babylonians believed the earth was flat and surrounded by water, which limited long-distance sea travel. Economically, they improved Sumerian farming and irrigation, traded extensively with regions such as Palestine, Syria, and Persia through camel caravans, used both barter and gold or silver as money, and became skilled business people by lending money at interest. The Assyrians settled in northern Mesopotamia around 2900 BC and named their capital city Assir, after their war god Ashur. They became the most feared, cruel, and powerful army of their time because they learned how to use hard iron weapons, horse-drawn chariots, and heavy battering rams against enemies who only had softer bronze tools. In 1115 BC, King Tiglath-Pileser I officially founded the empire after conquering Babylonia, Phoenicia, and Syria. Later, a military genius named Tiglath-Pileser III became their greatest emperor, never losing a single battle and expanding the borders all the way to Egypt, Turkey, and Iran. The civilization reached its highest point of power when King Sennacherib moved the grand capital to Nineveh, a city named after Nina, the Assyrian goddess of love. This massive empire relied heavily on trade, a strong central government, and strict social classes to control its huge geographic territory. However, after this golden age, their extreme cruelty caused anger among kindred peoples, and internal struggles eventually led to the sudden decline of their civilization. Even though their empire fell, their advanced iron military technology and engineering strategies left a lasting legacy that deeply changed how later societies fought wars and organized governments. The rise of the Chaldean Empire, also known as the New Babylonian Empire in 612 to 539 BC, marked a new chapter in the history of Mesopotamia. Emerging from the ruins of the fallen Assyrian Empire, the Chaldeans established their power and rebuilt Babylon into one of the greatest cities of the ancient world, led by King Nebuchadnezzar II in 604 to 561 BC. The empire expanded through military conquest and gained control over important regions, including Egypt and Israel. His rule brought political stability, economic growth, and cultural development, making Babylon the center of power in the Fertile Crescent. Nebuchadnezzar also left a lasting legacy through impressive architecture and engineering. He built a magnificent seven-story ziggurat temple and the legendary Hanging Gardens of Babylon, which became one of the seven wonders of the ancient world because of its unique system that raised water to the elevated gardens. However, the empire's greatness did not last forever. After Nebuchadnezzar's death, Chaldea weakened, and in 539 BC it fell to the Persian Empire. According to the story in the book, mysterious handwriting appeared on the palace wall, warning that Babylon's end was near. Although the empire declined, Chaldea's achievements in architecture, engineering, and history continue to be remembered today, teaching us that even the most powerful civilizations can rise and fall with time.